Hello, and welcome to the 21st Century Geeks podcast with your hosts, Isaac
and Carter.
This is our pilot episode today.
Version 2.
Version 2, the second one we've had to the second one we've had to record because we came up with the name and it was taken.
It was taken, and it was just unfortunate because we recorded about 2 hours worth of...
Just like perfect first recording.
Yeah, it was good.
But, it's okay because we can do it again.
It's whatever.
This will be the real test of our...
This will be the real test.
Our podcasting chops.
I'll make sure not to name drop this time, too.
Yeah, please. Carter also name dropped,
so many people.
Oh.
Like, people, places.
It was bad.
It was bad.
Jamie dropped me. I name dropped him.
Yeah. Old teachers. City where we lived in. It was bad.
Yikes. But, anyway...
We're back.
Seeing as this is now the first episode.
Or
I guess episode 0, if you will. We're just going to talk about what our podcast is about, what we're going to be talking about here, why we're qualified to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are most certainly we are geeks. Absolute nerds.
Geeks.
Yeah.
And nerds.
I have a master's.
Oh, really? Is it a PhD?
It's a PhD.
Pretty huge dick.
Yeah.
That's what I knew. I knew it.
This guy. Shut up. All right. So, yeah, basically, we're just going to be talking about nerd shit is kind of what we decided. You need to stop doing that. You're going to make me laugh.
Sorry, I'll stop. But yeah, we're going to be talking about nerd shit.
Thank you.
Anime, manga, video games,
movies,
D&D, movie.
TV,
yeah.
All that cool stuff.
We're big fans of just all kinds of media.
All
really.
kinds of media. We are.
We'll talk about a little bit of music too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We both have very different music tastes, though.
We do.
Very different.
Very, very. I am a full-blown metalhead.
Isaac is indeed a metalhead.
Like tried and true.
Yeah.
Carter is that one white kid that likes rap.
Okay. My Spotify rap did kind of expose me there. Yeah. I do enjoy my rap. I enjoy a little bit of a country vibe too, but that's very on rare occasions. That's when I'm in the toolies.
D-Gen.
Okay. Just because you don't like country.
I have a thing about country. We will most certainly get into that in this podcast.
We will get into it.
Maybe not this episode, but
definitely
one of these days.
We'll get into it.
But yeah, we're into all that stuff. For example, Carter, what are you watching right now, anime-wise? What's on your list?
Right now, on the list, I'm watching Chainsaw Man. But so we watched me and you watched the first couple episodes together.
I think the first 3.
The first 3?
It was until Aki was introduced, basically.
Yeah,
Remember he kicked him in the nuts like 12 times?
Yeah. That was really funny. That was like my
fucking
favorite part
hilarious.
So I'm watching Chainsaw Man as it comes out.
Yep.
But I don't know if the season's done yet or not. It's not.
I could check how many episodes are. I think it's like maybe 6 or 7 now.
Yeah, because I like to wait for the series to come out and then just binge watch all of it.
Just respectable. That's what I'm doing with Attack on Titan.
Yeah, that is. Yep.
The final season.
I'm also watching Blue Lock, which all the anime people know that it's one of the new hype anime, but with Blue Lock.
There are 9 episodes of Chainsaw Man.
9 episodes? Yeah.
How much is Blue Lock? I'm going to look how much Blue Lock is out.
I would assume Blue Lock probably has
probably
around
9.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they dropped the same week, so I would assume they both have 9. Isaac's
12.
Oh, they have 12. I think the season's
12.
over. Oh, speaking of Blue Lock, they're coming out with a movie that we have to go watch, but you have to watch the first season first.
Fine.
It's what you're doing.
I'm not like a lover of sports anime,
but
I like Haikyuu. I like Kuroko no Basket.
Yeah.
I like the really good ones that's well known.
This is going to become...
No, I know Blue Lock's... The animation is peak.
It's not... Even the story gets better.
We'll just have to see.
You'll have to see.
I will have to see. I know you know.
I know.
Up to date on the manga.
I'm up to date on the manga.
You're going to have to see with Chainsaw Man because I'm up to date on the Chainsaw Man
That's
manga.
true. For whatever else I'm watching right now, Spy X Family.
Love Spy Family.
Yes, it's great. Also, I've been watching My Hero sporadically. It's just I've read the manga.
Right.
So I want to wait till the war arc's finished being animated.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to see that because I
need to finish reading that arc.
You need to finish reading that arc and the next one because the next one gets mad hype.
That's what I've heard.
It goes like he becomes him. On God.
He becomes Timothy.
He becomes Timothy. It's real good. And that's pretty much all the anime I'm watching at the moment. I know you're currently watching One Piece.
I am. The grind.
The grind never stops.
The grind of catching up to One Piece. Of people that like catching up to people that are like at the end of One Piece just feels like so much more of a chore than just watching it because.
Yeah, it does. And especially because there's like I think 1,069 episodes out.
Wow.
That's the last time I saw it, but it might be a little bit more or less, but I think that's where it's around right now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they're getting up there.
They are getting up there. I believe it's the longest anime ever.
Oh yeah.
No one comes close.
It's not the longest show ever, but it's the longest.
No, it's the longest anime. Yeah, no one comes close. But what else are you watching besides One Piece at the moment?
One Piece. I recently, and you don't know this yet, started watching Trigun. I've never seen Trigun.
Really?
No, have you?
Yes and no. I've seen parts of it.
Okay, so you haven't finished it. I'm on like episode, I think 5, like right after Vash like finally shoots a gun for the first time.
Oh yeah,
and it's so badass.
it is badass.
Like they literally blue ball you for like 3 straight episodes, and then he finally fire. It is so badass.
It
when
is.
He beats that like giant guy.
Yeah, and it's hype.
Yeah, no,
it's
it's so.
That's
cool.
an old gen though.
It is. There's a lot of OG anime that I haven't seen.
I recently watched Cowboy Bebop.
Have you not seen? Did you not see that?
I
before?
didn't seen it before. I feel like I watched like the same thing with the Trigun. Yeah, sad.
Yeah,
Very sad.
I love Cowboy Bebop. It's so good.
It was really good. I actually like kind of like loved that art style too.
Have you seen the live action?
No, I don't like to watch live actions.
It's honestly not that bad.
Okay, from the past though, live actions have been pretty mid.
Death Note?
Yeah, Death Note was
Bleach?
ass. Yeah, they're all ass.
Yeah, no. Usually 9 times out of 10 they're ass.
Did you know they're coming out with a One Piece live action?
It's gonna be terrible.
I just hope it's not.
How?
I just don't know how you could do it though. Like One Piece would be like the one I'd stay away from the most.
Yeah,
Like all the devil fruits and powers.
Yeah,
Like, it would just make it
it's too
so
crazy.
bad.
it's gonna be terrible.
It is gonna be terrible.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was coming out.
I saw something on it on TikTok.
Let me look it up real
It
fast.
might have been canceled, but I thought there was words of it coming out soon.
Do you remember when they had teased that it was like forever ago, but when they teased the live action Rick and Morty?
No.
Oh, they did with like the guy who played Emmett Brown
Oh, from
and some kid. Yeah, from Back to the Future.
well, Rick's based off of him.
Right, exactly. But they had him as Rick.
That's fucking awesome.
Supposedly they were going to do a live action and then they just never did it.
I would have watched that.
Like that seems like the kind of thing that the creators would do though.
Like just one episode.
Not even an episode, just a trailer and then never say anything.
Yeah, that is something they would do. I think it would be really cool. Speaking of Rick and Morty, I mean, that's a TV show we both enjoy frequently. I mean, I'm more caught up to date on Rick and Morty than Isaac is currently. He's watched up to season 5, and I have watched all of season 6.
Oh my god.
What? Oh, are you still looking at the One Piece?
It looks like they finished filming for it in August 2022.
Oh, so yeah, it's coming out.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We might have to watch that together.
Oh, it's going to be at Nami kind of looks bad though.
Oh shit, she kind of does. Is it on Netflix actually?
Yeah, it's going to be at Netflix.
Fuck.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Of course it
But
is. They
Rick
got
and
the-
Morty. Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
We both very much enjoy it.
I love
like
Rick
I said,
and Morty.
you're season 5.
Yeah, I just haven't watched the new season yet.
Highly recommend it. I mean,
Is it actually getting better?
it's I think the only seasons that really sucked were 3 and 4.
I thought 3 was okay.
3 was alright.
3 was like it was declining. 4 was the worst.
4 was the worst, and then 5 makes an upturn, and 6 does the same thing.
The ending of 5 was so baller.
The ending of 5 was baller.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Okay, I really like how they finally made up their mind if they're gonna be like, because you know how like cartoons are more just like they're one episode things. You know, like after the episode, they're like it resets.
Right.
But I like how Rick and Morty are doing like both of that. Like there's some one-off adventures, but there's a lot of like
Cohesion in like the story
like
of
the story makes sense.
like a season.
It keeps progressing. There's character arcs. Like the characters change.
Well, and that's what they had been doing for like the first 3 seasons.
Not really. I mean, kind of.
No,
but,
yeah.
But not as much. Not as much.
Well, the first season was. It was like the first season.
Well,
was based around, like kind of introducing
Yeah.
like everybody. The second season was Jerry and Beth getting a divorce.
I think that was the third season.
Was that the third season?
Because I think second season is not Phoenix Man, Birdman. They go to his wedding, and it ends when Tammy
That's right.
betrays and like kills Birdman. I don't remember.
Bird person.
Bird Person. He's Phoenix Man now or Phoenix Person, and
Rest in peace, Bird Person.
he does not die. He comes back.
It's Phoenix Man.
It's Phoenix. Is it? I feel like it's Phoenix.
It's Phoenix Person.
I feel like it's Phoenix Person.
Same shit.
It really is. But yeah, I really enjoy. That is like one of my favorite shows at the moment. Like
so
not
good.
anime, but cartoons. I really enjoy that. It's just gassed up.
You know what I've been getting into recently? True crime.
Welcome to my side.
Was that your thing?
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
Chris Hansen. Oh my lord. I guess that's not true crime, but it is. It is.
It was the scum of the earth.
Them's is the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
Do you know about the Chris Hansen scum of the earth story? He became what he sought to kill.
Did he?
No, not really, but kind of.
Oh, that's messed up.
I mean, I can go into it if you want to. We're talking about it.
Yeah, go into it.
So,
Give me all the nitty gritty details. Well, maybe not.
maybe not. So, obviously, Chris Hansen did How to Catch a Predator.
Yes.
And so it went on for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like, years. There's plenty of episodes on
I remember
YouTube.
because it was coming out. Was it coming out before we were born?
Before we were born, for sure.
Yeah, and then like well after.
Maybe not well after. I would
Like
say
at least like 3 or 4 years after.
maybe, yeah. But the reason why the show ended was because obviously people fucking were watching the show, and so they just stopped like being so blatant and obvious with certain things that they were doing, and so basically like the predators that he was catching just like there just wasn't enough to make a show off anymore. But at the time at the time they wanted to do like a deeper investigation into it.
Yeah.
And so I watched a YouTube video on this, so I don't know like I'm not like concrete pull up articles and
Just
stuff.
like a
This is just like a
iceberg or something.
basic. No,
Yeah.
it's not an iceberg. This really happened.
Okay.
But this is like just the basic overview from what I got from the YouTube video. But what happened was, so there was this guy that they had hooked on one of their like sites, and he was he was showing interest in a minor, but like nothing to incriminate him on.
Oh sure.
So, and then he just like stopped texting, like stopped like typing in the chat or whatever. So they weren't getting any more information on him. But Chris Hansen like got like information like where he lived and stuff. And so this is why like he got canceled, was because, or he didn't get canceled. This is before cancel culture.
Well,
It's just like
he
he deserved to get canceled for what
proverbial
happened.
canceled.
So he goes to this guy's house and he starts harassing him
I
at
wouldn't
his
wish
house.
cancer upon anybody.
So he starts harassing this guy at his house.
Oh, I think I've heard about this.
And so while he's harassing this guy at the house, the cops get called somehow. And so the cops end up being there, and it turns into like a SWAT operation almost. And so the guy inside ended up like shooting himself. Well, they were like, because his house is surrounded by cops. Chris
my
Hansen's
God.
outside yelling that he's a predator. He thinks he's going to jail for something he didn't do. I mean, like, obviously, he was showing interest in a minor, which is fucked up.
It's fucked up.
But he wasn't doing anything, like, specifically illegal.
Right.
And so he, like, blew his... I guess I shouldn't say it like that. He killed himself. And so...
He blew his brains out.
Yeah, I just didn't want to sound, like, mad disrespectful, but...
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. And so they ended up having to, like, airlift him out. He died in the airlift.
Oh my God.
And so basically Chris like, he didn't get charged with anything, but that's...
But that blood is on his hands pretty much.
Yeah, so I forget what he worked for. Like, was it NBC?
Something like that.
So whatever news network he worked for, cut him off. And then basically he just went downhill. He started doing, like Patreon scams, basically to make money to try... Because there's a demand for another season of How to Catch a Predator. So basically, he would promise that if he got enough money, he would do it, but he hasn't done it yet. And he has a YouTube channel, and it's just a bunch of crazy stuff that's been happening. But yeah, so that's how Chris Hansen went down the drain.
It was at Dateline NBC.
It was Dateline NBC?
It was
Okay, that's what I
Dateline.
thought. Yeah, so he got cut off of that for what he did, and he started running scams on Patreon, and it was just a whole ordeal. But yeah, that was crazy.
That sucks.
Because I really enjoyed the show.
Did you?
It's just like a morbid curiosity, you know, just like because I like how Stop looking at me like that. I like how he like interviews them
Right.
and like makes them break down crying.
Yeah.
It brings joy to my soul. Watching.
They are pieces of shit.
They deserve every tear that they shed. They deserve that. They do deserve
I
that.
think people should get a lot. Well, let's not get like.
We're not talking
We're
about
not going to
political
get into
opinions.
it. We won't get into like
This is
law.
no,
things.
no.
That's not us.
That's not us. We just nerds.
So anyway, speaking of To Catch a Predator, the Boondocks.
Oh my god.
Such a funny show.
Oh my! It
Chris
took me a second.
Handsome.
Oh my god, that is a great show. It's too bad that it's hard to find those episodes now.
Seriously, because it's on Hulu, but like,
There's only like 3.
well, unlike the live TV version of Hulu,
yeah,
so like
it's always playing, so they don't
So,
have the
yeah.
episodes like a way where you can just watch all.
it's
of them.
like they have like an Adult Swim channel on
Yeah, and that's where it's
Hulu
only
Live,
on.
and that's where it's on. It's kind of a pain in the ass.
I wish you could just like watch them, but you
Right.
can't. There's only a few you can
I'm
watch.
sure
at
you
a time.
could find it out there somewhere.
You could pirate it.
Yeah, but let's.
I'm sure.
You know, we don't do that.
No,
No,
we would never.
that's not us.
That's not us. That's not me.
I'm not like that.
We're not like that. What true crime are you into? That have you been getting into?
The only one I've been watching is BuzzFeed Unsolved,
Yeah, okay.
just because they're funny as shit.
That's the first step.
Yeah, they're really funny.
It is.
I'm not like into it, but like I watched the Jack the Ripper one today,
Okay, that's a
which
good
was
one.
super interesting.
Mhm.
It gave me a lot of inspiration for my novel, which I'm working on, which you know about.
I do.
Yeah, a lot of cool and that's kind of the main reason why I've been watching it, for inspiration, because
Mhm.
I'm writing a murder mystery novel, and that's the only reason really, is that just to get into the head of like, not like deep into the headspace of what a murder is like, but at least
Just understand a little
get
bit.
some more realistic details of what it's like, because it's never been a thing
Yeah.
that I've been into before. But
Yeah.
I love murder mysteries. It's my favorite books, and
Mhm.
I love reading, and I love writing. So I was like, oh, might as well do some research.
True crime. I get into all of it.
You would,
I do.
you would. Like I didn't like ever ask, but you know it makes sense.
Why you gotta say it like that, huh?
It just does.
I
You're
just
into like creepy. You were into like creepy pastas and all that.
that's facts. It's just I find them fascinating.
Oh,
Not
they
like-
are.
just like in a morbid way.
No, it's super fascinating.
And everyone like it's like they're all different too, so it's like there's not ever like one of the same. Like,
Right.
It's always interesting to see.
Or I was the Torso Killer. That was an interesting one.
That one is good.
I definitely think it was the doctor.
Do you know
It was definitely the fucking doctor, man. Who else could it be?
me?
Yeah, okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm trying to think what else.
Carter's the Louisiana Axeman.
I told you not to say anything about that.
That's a Scranton Strangler.
That's confidential. No, I just enjoy it. Like it's just something that I like to try to figure it out as I watch.
Yeah, me too.
But I also like to like see inside the headspace of why somebody would be
Yeah.
doing it.
Right,
Because obviously there's something wrong with them, and you just like kind of want to see like what caused that.
right.
Like there's a running theory that like murderers, like serial murderers or
Mhm.
serial killers, whatever you want to call them, like a lot of it has correlation to when you're younger,
Yeah.
like
and,
getting a
trauma.
traumatic
Yeah.
injury,
A lot of it.
like
A traumatic injury or a traumatic experience.
But yeah, like it has to be like young though. Like a lot of them will they'll like be like people fall out of trees and like snap their arm or something
Yeah.
when they're like young, and it just has a lot of correlation. I find that interesting too.
Yeah.
I just think as
It is fascinating. Psychology in general. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Psychology in general is so fascinating.
I just think as time goes on and we're able to understand like the human mind more and more, serial killers will just keep getting more and more interesting. You know?
I remember when I was in treatment. Fun fact: Isaac was in treatment. Been sober for almost a year now, which is awesome.
Yes, sir.
And when I was in treatment, I remember I drank the Kool-Aid, as they like to say.
I don't know what that means.
You basically like are doing the program, like you're doing it.
Oh,
You're
okay.
trying to
I
get
get what you're
sober.
saying. Yeah, okay.
Some people just go through it and they're just
Yeah,
fucking floating, and
They don't care.
they don't care. Like
They-
as soon as they get out, like
They
people
go
who
right
are
back.
a lot of times when people are court ordered,
Yeah.
they're just doing it until they can get out.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, that's what you want to do.
That's what you want to do. Chill life, bro.
But like, I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about your treatment.
Oh shit. I do that a lot.
It's okay.
Yeah, I did so much treatment work, and I like got everything I needed to done, that I just started reading. Like they just let me read books. Like I read the DSM-7, I think it is.
I think we were talking about this
Yeah.
earlier. Not
The
on
DSM
podcast.
is kind of like the book that comes out with. They come out with. I don't know if it's yearly, but it basically has all of the like diagnoses and descriptions and like protocols for different types of psychological disorders and things like that. It's kind of like basically the psychologist's handbook.
I was thinking of something totally different.
No.
I was thinking of. Okay, whatever. My bad. My bad.
I'm pretty sure the DSM-7 is the most recent one. But I got to read a little bit of that and a lot of like stuff on like depression and anxiety and like bipolar and a bunch of different like things that I could read because there was nothing else to do. And I was like, well, it's kind of relates, and they were cool with it as long as it was something that was already there.
Yeah, I remember you getting done with all the stuff you needed to get done pretty quickly in treatment. I just remember that
and I was still there for like another 2 months.
You were still there for so long, and it was. I remember like because you were losing weight at the time too.
It was messing with my UAs.
It was fucking up your tests.
Yeah. So because they would test us twice a week.
Yeah.
And so at the time I was working out. Like I was really like changing my life. I was working out a lot. I'm a bigger guy.
Yep.
Working out a lot, eating healthier, losing a bunch of weight. And if you know anything about THC, which was the only drug that was in my system at the time. If you know anything about THC, is that it likes to hide in fat cells. I think it's called what? Fat soluble?
I don't know the exact.
That might be the term. That might be something completely different.
Whatever.
But it basically like sits in your fat cells, or that's like where it goes once it's done being like processed.
Where it gets like absorbed into.
Yeah. And I was losing so much weight that it was not spiking my UAs a lot. Like it would spike it by maybe 20, 30 nanograms, which is fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Like when you if you were to smoke like 2 hits of weed, it would spike your nanograms by like 100.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't enough to like conclusively say that I was actually like smoking weed. What they told me is I was maintenance using.
But you weren't.
I wasn't.
No. I knew Isaac at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like I don't want to say like I was a big help in your treatment, but I wanted to make sure that like
you knew me when I was an addict.
Yeah.
And you knew me when I'm sober.
Yeah.
And there's a distinctive difference.
There is a very distinct difference, and I really wanted to make sure because you were putting in all that work. I didn't want to see you throw it down.
Because I was very close so many times because of the way treatment was going.
Yeah.
That I was staying sober, but I was still there because. And I don't blame them because it is their job to.
It is.
Levels go up, that 99.9% of the time that means someone's using.
But your case was different,
and it was out of nowhere, and I don't know if they've ever even had a case like that. And it was just weird.
It was just weird. I mean, human bodies are crazy. We don't even know everything about them
exactly.
yet.
And there's this one guy who, and most of the people there were awesome, and I still like them a lot.
Yeah.
Like the people that were in treatment with me and our counselors and all that. But there was one guy who was kind of an asshole.
As there always is.
And even if he heard this, he would be like, yeah, I'm kind of a dick.
I mean, you got to be, though, sometimes.
Well, he's the boss.
Yeah, if you're the boss, you got to be a hard ass.
And you know what? His method of like doing treatment was just really old school, and that's perfectly fine.
That's
like,
fine.
I don't have any resentment for them because they helped change my life.
Yeah, no.
My life is so much better now.
I think there's a time and place for you to be the nice guy, and a time and place for you to be a hard ass.
Right.
And as the boss, especially at a treatment facility, I feel like you need to be running a tight ship.
Yeah, and most definitely, because there was a lot of shit that was flying like before he. So there was someone else who was the boss and then left, and then he became the boss. Because I was there for almost 6 months.
You were there for a while.
A long time, and so I saw like a total change in the way things were run in management, and it was crazy. Luckily, I had pretty much the same therapist, I guess you could say, or counselor.
Yeah.
The whole time, which was super nice. She was awesome. I still love her. She's great. We had such a weird relationship.
That's how it is, though.
No, literally, I got to tell her to fuck off like once a day. She told me once a day you can tell me to fuck off.
All right, and that's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah. She was so good for my recovery. And even, Big Boss Man, everything that I went through there was worth it.
I 100% agree.
As stressful or as difficult as it might have been, because even though I was sober, having him be a hard ass like that was good because you don't know what's going to hit you.
No, you don't.
When you come back into the real world. It's different.
It
in
is.
Treatment. You have everything structured for you. They have all this stuff. They basically plan out your life for you.
Mm-hmm.
So all you have to worry about is getting sober.
Let me just clarify this. While you were in treatment, he wasn't living there?
No.
No, he was at home too?
So it was called intensive outpatient.
Yeah, so he wasn't like shipped away or anything.
No, I was living at home, and it was like a 30-minute drive from where I lived. So I'd drive there early in the morning.
Yeah.
And then stay there until like 4.
Yeah.
So I'd go to school, and I got I finished my credits our senior year.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause that's when it happened.
Yep.
It was like halfway through our senior year. And I still graduated, and I got all my work done. I even did extra work just in case.
Yeah.
Like, I was that guy.
You did it.
And having him be a hard ass like that was good for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even, because my levels would be like 0 to like 25 nanograms to like 0 to like 30 nanograms. And it's like, I don't think it was enough to like constitute like actual use.
Yeah, I don't think that would be enough either.
Right. But it's his job.
It's his job to be like
and
that.
it even got to the point where I was just like, fuck it, and admitted that I was using the whole time. Admitted with quotation marks, even though I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, anything at this point to just get the heat off me.
Seriously, yeah.
Because it got to a point where like every single day they were just hammering me. But you know what? Having that stress on me and being able to get out of it, staying sober, is a big part of what's kept me.
Yeah.
Kept like my mental fortitude. Because there's been a lot of times where I've like, oh, it'd be so easy for me to go to the shop, go to a shop or something.
Buy some Delta 8 or something.
Buy some Delta 8 or buy some edibles.
Yep.
And I haven't.
No, you haven't.
Like, I get the opportunity to, like, once a month.
Yeah, and you don't. Stayed clean.
Damn straight.
I also think when you came out of treatment too, you made a really clean transition.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was really any shell shock for you.
No.
You came out and you got a job pretty much right away.
Well, I had a job while I was in treatment. So at the shop, or the music shop, I started working there about 3 weeks before I left. And that was kind of my transition plan, because I was originally working at the pizza shop, and that wasn't good for my sobriety.
Yeah. The pizza shop was not a jank place.
So at the pizza shop, it's like not a sketchy place.
No, but it kind of is.
But like, you can get away with a lot of stuff at a shop like that.
Well, so the pizza shop is in the city where I live.
Yeah.
And the city where I live has
small town
population of less than 3,000
called like
people.
Smallsville.
We can call it Smallsville.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like no one that lives there. So it's
in
like
Smallsville.
It's okay. It's just a place where everybody, so you can kind of do whatever you want.
And they really don't care.
And they don't care.
Like our boss, let's see, me and you ended up working there together, but not together.
Yeah.
At one point,
Together,
which is
but not.
another story.
Another story
about like work stuff. I didn't think we'd be getting into my treatment story a little bit, but
I think it helps like talk about who we are really.
Yeah,
it's more of an introduction.
Yeah.
We can get into me later.
Yeah, we'll get into you. We'll start digging in.
It's fine.
Nice and deep.
Okay.
All right.
I got family that's gonna listen to this, bro.
Oh, your family's cool though.
I got
it. Yeah, no, the pizza shop, like, just a lot of things slid that wouldn't slide in a normal business.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we could just say people were smoking weed there.
That
and I was at a point.
Well, people were smoking weed there, and I don't want to say it wasn't busy, but it like wasn't busy enough where like you needed to be like cognitive like all the time.
You could be high as shit, and
especially when you're like
done.
just like taking orders and making pizzas. It's
exactly.
not hard.
No,
this wasn't like a Domino's or anything. This was like a family owned
small
pizza
town
restaurant.
pizza shop.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Domino's or anything. So it was like,
and a lot of times we wouldn't even have people eat in.
We didn't. COVID.
Well, no, this wasn't like there was a time. Maybe it was after you left, but there was a good portion of time where we did have eat-ins.
I worked there and we still had like there's 1 or 2 tables open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was annoying. You should have just kept them all up.
On God.
On God.
It was so obnoxious to do. Because you just be doing your job and suddenly someone would be like, hey, we want to eat in. And I'm just like, oh.
You make it so much worse.
God damn it.
This is not a restaurant. It's a
I don't want to
fucking
serve
pizza
you.
shop.
It's like having to like do all the normal orders and like work the ovens.
Yeah, there wasn't a
take
specific
phones.
server.
Yeah, no.
So it's like 3 people that run
Just
this.
whenever
Yeah.
someone, and like if it was like a Tuesday, so like on a Tuesday, me and this one other guy would work. Not Carter, unfortunately.
Not me, unfortunately.
But boss man would just leave.
Yeah.
And so, like, someone would, it could be busy and there's just 2 of us. So I didn't make pizzas. Let's call Jim. Jim made pizzas, right? And so Jim would basically only make pizzas because he was always stoned out of his mind, which is fine if that's what he wants to do, you know. And before treatment, I would get stoned with him a lot. But I would take orders, run the register, run the ovens, make like wings and spaghetti and shit, and I would have to wait tables if someone came in. It was a lot of stuff. Like there should have been 3 people there at all times, but there wasn't.
No, there definitely was not 3 people there at all times.
So it a lot of times it just became a clusterfuck. And that stress and just being around weed wasn't good for my sobriety.
No, it wasn't. But
And so when I got my new job, work at the music store, and I'm a musician. I've been in a couple bands. I've done a gig or 2. As a musician, I wanted to work in a music store, and I love music and all that. I love writing and playing. Like in treatment, for example, one of the things like on my treatment plan, which is something that you set up with the counselors, was to write songs. That I could
really?
do that for like after I finished all my treatment work, I could just literally write songs all day.
actually, I feel like I remember you talking about
I wrote
that.
like damn near a song like a day, like 2 songs a week. It was crazy.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
A lot more.
I just haven't had the time or like the inspiration.
Which is fine. That's what everybody goes
It
through,
happens.
though.
Yeah. And so just getting that job, I was able to strike a deal with Boss Man
Yeah.
at the treatment facility, where he was like, "All right, we're gonna start like phasing you out of the program, but you better stay fucking clean."
Yeah,
And I was, and I knew I was, but he wasn't convinced, which is it's his job.
that's his job.
You know what? And if he still isn't convinced, that's okay.
No, whatever on him.
Not my fault. And so I would go to work at this new place, the music shop, and I wouldn't always have to go in to treatment. I would do it online. So they'd have Zoom calls, and they'd have it on site.
Yeah.
And so I would just do the Zoom calls, and I'd go in once a week to take a UA, which is a piss test.
Yeah, it's a piss test. It's a piss test. Classic piss test.
Classic piss test.
Wah.
Piss in a cup.
Piss in a cup. Smell it.
Hey, I'm like, I swear, like, this is kind of funny, but like on the DL, I was kind of like a shy peer before treatment.
Really?
Not anymore.
Really?
I'd have to sit in there where someone watches me take a piss in a cup.
I've never been a shy peer. Yeah,
It's just what it is.
Or shy pooper. I will poop anywhere.
Same.
Like, I specifically, I went to California over the summer. I took a shit on Alcatraz just to take a shit on Alcatraz.
Nice.
Just to say I did it.
Yeah.
It's just how I am. You know, just when I need to poop, it don't matter where I am. I got poop.
We got poop.
Got poop.
When it's time to poop, it's time to poop.
On God.
So, that was nice, and that kind of like phased me out of the program, which is why, and the whole time I wasn't in residential either, so I still could do like normal life things. Like, we still hung out.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It never really. I don't think it really hampered us at all.
No,
I mean, I just
for
had school.
Like, we didn't talk as much,
Well,
but that's just because you were in school and I wasn't.
I was in school and I was doing volleyball too.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
it was just more busy.
And I was working at the same time.
Yeah.
It was just a busy time for me.
Just a lot going on.
Yeah.
And so it made it. I already said this, but it made it really easy to like phase back into normal life.
Yeah.
Which was super nice.
Yeah,
and
you didn't have any problems with that.
Like I said, I'm super grateful for the. Honestly, not a lot of people go through it and like
Stay true.
drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, some people.
I guzzled that shit.
I could probably count the number of people on my hand that I know that have gone through treatment and stuck to it. Because
Do you know other people besides?
I do. Family members.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
We
do
talked
know
about that
family
before.
members. I'm not going to say anything about that, though.
No.
But yeah, I do know family members who have gone through treatment and who have come out on top. But I also know that it's not easy, and some
No.
people will just break it.
It's really hard.
Yeah. But it's nice when it pays off. It's nice to see.
And that's the thing, and that's like the big thing that I had to learn, and that I got really early on is treatment is not the magical like answer.
No, and it's not a punishment either.
It's not the key to your problems.
No.
Like, you never stop being an addict. And that's kind of like the sad thing. But once you've taken that step and you've crossed that line, you are going to be, quote unquote, an addict for the rest of your life. You're always going to have that craving.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is.
That's just how it is. But
you might learn to cope with it. You might learn to use your drug of choice in a more healthy way, but you're still an addict.
Yeah.
When you get down to it, like mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You're still going to have that little voice in the back of your head that says, like, let's go get an edible tonight, get fucked up, let's go buy another case of beer, go drive to the liquor store.
Yeah, like, that's just how it is.
All that shit. So, Carter.
Yes.
Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit? I spilled
some beans here.
I spilled some tea.
I mean, you did spill some tea. I don't know what I should tell, though.
I hate saying that.
Spill the tea?
Yeah, it sucks.
I only use that when I'm talking to women.
Do you?
Yes.
You really say that?
I do. Certain occasions to certain people.
You fucking simp.
No.
That is some simp shit.
Sometimes I
don't change myself up ever.
I change up to get more information on people. I love to hear nitty gritty about certain people.
Oh, that's fair.
So I like to play to their interests and
play to
learn
their
more.
Strengths.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I
spill the tea for me, Daddy.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm trying to think. What do you want to know? What should I talk about here?
I don't know. Introduce yourself.
Well, I am Carter. I'm about.
Okay. All right.
No, I know. I'm just fucking around. I just don't have. I don't think I have any like good, meaningful stories like treatment for you. Really.
Yeah, it was a lot.
You had. I mean, that was a big thing for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I get to talk about when I did drugs, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. I just stopped myself.
Right. I didn't have that.
You did not have that.
I did not. I had to learn the hard way. That's how I've always been, though. I've always had to learn shit the hard way. That's just me.
I mean, everybody goes through that stuff, though.
I was even talking about that with my parents not that long ago.
A word?
Like, I had like a really nice conversation with my dad. Me and my dad,
Papa Bear,
have
Can I call him Doc Ock?
Yeah,
can we refer to your dad as Doc Ock?
Refer to him as Doc Ock.
Perfect.
Doc Ock. Dr.
Mr. Doc Ock, if you're seeing this or hearing this, I've been calling you this forever.
Yes.
Just not to your face.
Just not to his face.
I never
would probably like it.
I never wanted to piss you off because you're so nice, but I call you Doc Ock behind your back.
Me and him didn't always have like the greatest relationship, but especially in treatment.
I can talk about that too.
Yeah.
I can talk about that with my mom, but you go ahead first.
Especially with like treatment, I did a lot of work. And he's kind of just like a different cat sometimes, or like he's kind of like.
Your dad, I will say, I can get reads on people when I meet them.
Yeah.
Your dad is the most unreadable person I've ever met in my life.
Right.
I can go into a room and I can like pick up on people.
That's how I am too. We're like both like empaths.
Yeah, I mean like not even like that. I'm just like a very sociable person.
Right.
Like I said, when I can change like how I talk to people to get them more interested in conversations.
I mean, I do that too, but that's like a learned skill.
Yeah, that's a learned skill, but like I can like get reads on people very easily, but your dad is one of the people that I cannot get a read on.
Yeah.
He's just so reserved, stoic.
He is.
He's like a samurai.
Doc Ock the samurai.
Doc Ock the samurai.
Oh my gosh!
I can't wait for him to hear this.
And don't get me wrong. I love my dad, but
great guy.
A lot of this was my fault of me just kind of being a shitty kid and not knowing how to approach my dad.
That's how it is.
But I had to learn, and this came on with another friend of mine. That I'll get into another time. Who's now left us, unfortunately. Kim. I've told you about Kim.
R.I.P.
Yeah. And he like helped me understand him, and then treatment helped me understand myself, and now me and my dad, I think we have a great relationship.
I think you do too.
Which I love. I'm so glad I do.
Even the place where we're oh my gosh, where we're recording, I think is a big like your parents gave you a lot of trust to do this.
Most definitely.
And back a year ago, this would never happen.
No, absolutely
not here at least.
No. I gotta stop saying
It's okay.
It'll come with time.
It'll come eventually.
So yeah, it was a journey, most definitely on both of our parts. But we had a conversation recently about how he's been talking with like my boss. He goes to this music store that we're at, which I think might have some to do with how I got the job, which is fine.
Oh, that's fine.
But he's talked with my boss and some of the people there, and says, from what he's heard, is that he's heard good things, and that he's like told me he was like really proud of my work ethic, and that like, you know, when I know it's time to work, I work really hard.
You do.
And I get my shit done.
You do.
And because I was a lazy ass kid.
We all are.
Yeah, probably more so than you.
It depends what you quantify as lazy.
Just a lot of things.
There's some things I was lazy at that I still am lazy at.
Rooms.
Hey man, my room's clean as fuck.
It is now.
I can't believe we're talking about it on the podcast.
Oh my god.
Stop.
Okay. All right. Sidebar. When I went to pick Carter up tonight, his parents were like, "What do you guys?" Or his mom and his stepdad. You're okay if I?
Yeah, that's fine.
His mom and his stepdad were like, "Oh my god, you guys are doing a podcast? What's your podcast about?" And I was like, "Nerd shit." And they were like, "What?" And so I like explained it to him. And your stepdad had made a comment about, yeah, and Carter was down there cleaning his room all day, and I said, "Oh, finally."
Fuck.
And he said, "Yeah, you should talk about it on the podcast."
I can't believe we're talking about it on the podcast. If he listens to this, that's awesome.
That would be awesome.
That's great.
I did know I did it for you. You know who
you
you
didn't.
are.
You didn't. It was so on accident.
No,
don't even
I did it on
cap.
purpose.
Whatever. But back to what we were talking about.
Yes.
So you had the conversation with your dad.
Yeah, and oh yeah, that was I thought you were talking, but no, I was talking.
Oh, I can talk.
No, it's okay. I just got to remember where my thoughts.
You were talking about
the
conversation you had with your dad.
Yeah, about like the work ethic thing, and it just made me realize like, I feel like a lot of people when you have a moment with adulting, when you kind of realize like, oh shit, you know,
I've become a person.
I've become a person.
Yeah.
That was one of my moments.
Yeah.
Which was super nice to hear.
It's always nice to hear.
I don't remember exactly where I was going with that story.
Well, we were just talking about parents, but
yeah,
you were just talking about how the conversation you had with your dad.
And it was super nice.
I guess to give some insight on me, because I guess you did a deep story. I can talk about.
I did on accident.
I can talk about my family relations. I think that's a good.
I think I just tend to ramble a lot.
You do, but it's all right.
Go ahead.
It makes it good for a good podcast.
Yeah.
So I come from a little deeper into me, Carter. I come from a split family.
Yeah.
So my mom and my dad had me when they were in high school. I don't mind talking about it. Like, I talk about it all the time. It's just a funny joke. I like to joke that I'm a bastard.
He's a bastard.
I'm a bastard.
He's a bastard.
It's a funny joke, yeah. I like to joke about it. But so me and my mom, growing up, I did not have a really good relationship with her. Yeah, so me and my mom, when I mean, like, we might, I know she's going to be listening to this, but whatever. I think we both know that, like, when I was younger, I didn't feel as close to my mom as I did my dad. And so when I got older, my mom and my dad used to live in like the same area, and then they moved to two separate areas. So I had to go to school with one of my parents, basically. I had to live at one of my parents' house more than the other one. And so they sat down, they talked, and they decided I was going to go live with my mom more and see my dad less. But I mean, they're still on good terms. Like, they don't fight or anything about it. But I ended up being with my mom more. And so when I hit like middle school is when I felt like the least close to my mom and my parents. It was just because I don't know what it was. I think it was just like a lot of things that was going on at the same time. But I like when we were talking about what it means to be lazy.
Right.
I stand by this. I hate how in school teachers give you busy work.
Yeah.
And so I refuse to do busy work. Like,
fair enough.
You know, and it's like, and that's not what my mom liked. She was like, because I'd get A's and B's without doing all my assignments.
Right.
And so my mom thought that I wasn't living up to my potential.
I had a similar experience with my mom.
And I said, I don't give a fuck if I'm not living up to my potential.
I did not do that.
Well, and there's a reason why. I mean, I said I don't give a fuck, but there also came consequences with that.
Oh, yeah.
I was grounded pretty much all of freshman and sophomore year.
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, there was not a lot of Carter hanging out with people in the beginning of high school. And at that time, it was just me and my mom didn't really, I don't want to say we didn't get along, but we did. but it was like I don't feel like we had
It
to
was
sit down
strained.
and talk. It was definitely strained
Yeah.
because I was always pissed at her because she was always grounding me. She was always mad at me because I wasn't doing my best,
I remember it seemed like you got in trouble a lot.
and it was just from school. Really, I never really got in trouble outside of school. I was always a great kid outside of school, but in school it was just assignments and stuff. And then
I had a really similar experience with my mom.
and it was just super tough all the time. But I want to say it was maybe it was, no, it might have been, it was around sophomore junior year. I had gotten into trouble again, and me and my mom got into a really big like fight. And I don't want to say it, like obviously I regret like getting into a fight with my mom. Like I don't like to do that, but we had a big fight, and I think she understood that I wasn't going to change what I was doing, and obviously didn't make her the happiest. But she came to understand that like no matter what she did, like I wouldn't change.
I feel like that's the thing with parenting.
It was just like, and I'm her first kid. I'm the oldest
Right.
of 3 siblings on my mom's side, or
Yeah.
2 siblings on my mom's side and 2 on my dad's. So I'm their first kid. And so I think it was a tough pill for her to swallow, that I wouldn't really listen to what she was saying. And she had the best intentions, obviously.
Right.
I mean, I just refuse to do certain things. Like I don't take to authority very well.
Neither do I.
Like when it was just something that like I think she came to realize that I wasn't just going to listen to her anymore.
Right.
And she had my best intentions in mind.
Right.
I would never say she wasn't, but it was just, I think it was a lot of things. I was like always grounded, and I think she just like was like, okay, as long as then she just came to us like, as long as you pass high school, I don't care. And so my junior year and senior year, well, before that happened, me and her had to sit down talk, and at the sit down talk we had, I talked about like all the things I did in high school, like drinking, like all that kind of stuff, basically. And so me and my mom had to sit down and talk about that. And I think that like helped her understand that I wasn't just like a little kid anymore.
Right.
Because I don't think she knew that I did any of that. I mean,
Really?
I don't think she knew. I don't think she like knew.
Well, you were pretty good at like
Yeah.
keeping stuff like that under wraps. I was not. I was getting caught left and right.
Yeah, I don't think she knew. And so when we had that sit down talk, I think she came to see that like I make my own decisions.
Yeah.
And she just has to do what she can to support me.
Right.
And after that, we really didn't get in any more fights, and it brought us closer. It was like that moment with your dad.
Yeah.
When they realize that you're like becoming a person, and they just like, all right, cool.
There was another time like that where I don't know when it was specifically, but like I think that especially with parenting, there comes a time when you realize that some things are no longer behavioral and they're just personality.
That too, and it's just like, I think it's just a thing for like, it's just epiphany that like you just, it's like when you go from like listening to your parents
To making your own decisions.
to making,
it's a big step.
It's to making your own, like, it's like, I think they just realize that like you're making your own decisions now.
And I think me and you similarly just decided that we were making our own decisions and going to be our own person.
I never said I made the best decisions.
Right. No, neither do I.
No.
I made some terrible decisions.
I've made some terrible decisions.
I've done some terrible things. Like, what, step 4 in the AA book, take a vicious moral or like personal inventory of all the things that you've done.
Yep.
Basically all the shit you've done to like mess with people, or like all the terrible things you've done.
Yeah.
Worst step out there. Well, I hate step 3 more, but that's the higher power one. That's another talk for another day.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just something that parents, it's like, I don't know, it's like a mutual understanding.
Yeah.
That happens like from the age of like 16 to 18.
Yeah. I'd say even more so 17 to 18. Maybe it happened earlier for you than it did for me.
I think it happened earlier for me because I've always been more of an independent person.
Well, that's how I am too, though. Like that's what I was saying. I think me and you felt that we were grown earlier than we were.
Definitely.
But that didn't change anything.
It didn't change it. It
Like,
doesn't change
we weren't
that.
fully matured, but we were like, all right, I'm making my own decisions now.
Well, and then another thing that like kind of like that like made me think that I like didn't need to listen to my mom anymore. I mean, not that it was like that was before the conversation. I was like, fuck, I'm like doing all this other shit. I'm becoming a person. I don't need to listen to her. I mean, like I was working like
Right.
a shit ton.
Yeah.
And to the point where it was like like I'm working, going to school, and I was like, I wasn't getting like the best grades, but I was still getting okay grades.
Right.
But I was like, it was like missing assignments and stuff.
That's what would happen. That's what happened with me.
And it was just like that, and then it was just like
On Canvas. Did your mom get emails about your assignments?
no.
See, that was the thing with me.
When my mom listens to this, I'm gonna straight up tell you, I straight up fucking lied to your face about Canvas, 100% of the time. Okay. This is I can't wait for you to hear this, Mom. So, junior year,
Cat's out of the bag.
cat's out of the bag. Mom, when you listen to this is gonna be hilarious. So, junior year on Canvas, you can type in hypothetical grades. So you can
really?
you can go to your assignments and you can type in like what you would get on that assignment, and it'll show your grade. And so I would do that with. So what I would do is I would go and type in my hypothetical shit, and then I would take a picture of just the top of the screen, like, and my mom would be like, "Send me pictures of your grades." So I'd look it up on my computer because you can't do it on your phone; you got to do it on your computer. And so I would take pictures of like each class,
Yeah.
and then I would send it to her. But it was my hypothetical grades. My grades are dog shit at the time, absolute dog shit. And
I don't think I had bad grades like senior, junior year,
No,
like
it
when
wasn't-
Canvas came around, but like they weren't great.
It wasn't-
It was like B's and C's.
It wasn't bad grades, but it was grades where like it was the assignments and stuff.
Yeah.
That grade, and like it was just stuff that like I know my mom would get pissed about and not let me hang out with people. And I did that for about like all of junior year. Actually, no, probably like the second half mostly. No, maybe the first half. I don't really remember. It was just a decent part of my junior year. I was straight up lying.
Because junior year was when it was hybrid.
Junior year was all online. No, that was sophomore. Junior year was like online.
It was like the second
not
half of
online. Not. It was off and on all the time.
Yeah, but like we would do like hybrid and then back to online when
Yeah.
COVID cases ramped up, and back on. We should talk about
Our
what it was
fucking
like.
school
Oh my
experiences.
god!
Holy shit.
Literally dealing with COVID from sophomore to senior year.
Was wild.
Holy shit! Another time.
Another time. I did not like it. But
Because
it's
it's so
whatever.
fascinating. I've talked to adults about it, and they're like fascinated with it. They're like, "Wow, school must have been rough." And I was like, "Yeah, it fucking was.
fucking sucked.
It was terrible."
Well, it went from like this is where I get even more pissed about busy work, because it went from like medium amounts of busy work at school to fucking crazy amounts at home.
Yeah.
It was like there needed to be an assignment every day.
It was ridiculous.
And that's one of the reasons why I lied to you, Mom. I'm sorry. let me say I regret it. I should have just done better, but
Yeah, I remember there was.
I
a
wanted to
thing,
take the easy way.
What I got in trouble for mostly, like senior year, was missing classes. We did that a lot.
Fuck,
The
are we
skip
talking about
boys.
that?
Yes.
All right, Mom. Another. I'm sorry.
Same.
I guess we'll come clean now.
So
Okay.
I used to go to. I don't know if you did this, but I would go to the ladies in the office and have them change my attendance.
I didn't do that. What I would do was when I skipped school. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you straight up. I skipped school almost every day. Mother,
Same.
like it was.
It was so bad. Me and you together. Skipped
me, you, me, you,
Dave.
and
That was pretty much it.
and Mr. K
sometimes Mr. K.
and Mr. K. We're not saying names on here. I almost name dropped somebody, but I saved myself.
Dave.
Dave.
I am Dave.
Me, you, Dave, Mr. K, Big R. He would come along sometimes. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he would come along
Like
sometimes.
Big R
as well.
from D&D?
No, Big R. From football. Short.
Oh,
You know who I'm talking about?
last name.
Yes,
Yeah,
last
he
name.
did come a couple
He did come a
times.
couple times.
There was a couple times I skipped with Lucas from D&D.
Yeah. We can say Lucas' name. He
Yeah,
doesn't care.
he's in D&D.
We've cleared it with
He'll
Lucas.
be on the podcast.
We'll bring him on.
I remember, yeah, we skipped almost every fucking
Well,
day.
what I would do, I didn't get an attendance letter until like my last 3 months of school.
See, my parents got like this synergy, so they would see any time that I got it.
No, my parents didn't get that. They just got an attendance
Mine
letter.
did. That's why I got in trouble for it.
My
like what you're
synergy was
saying.
fine too, though. I would check that as well. Well, what I would do is, so I would skip lunch. I would leave like during lunch, and I also had a class where it was like okay for me to skip school. You remember that class, career launch?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was. I had a class where basically like
You basically got to go work.
I got to like leave school early to go work,
Quote unquote.
and I didn't work every day, so I would leave with the boys and go get food.
That's
and
when
then
you
go
were
home.
at the bar, right?
That was when I was at the bar and I was doing my internship.
Oh, that's right. You had an internship.
Yeah, and so what we would do is I would skip during lunch. So like right when lunch rang,
We would.
I had D lunch. And so I would leave school. D lunch is like the last lunch.
Yeah.
So I don't want to explain the lunch periods. It's like kind of annoying.
It's just A through D.
It's just A through D, and like some of them are in between. Like A is before fourth period.
Yeah.
B is the first half of fourth period. C.
I guess we're getting into it. Our school did like the blocks and skinnies.
Yeah.
So your first 3 classes of the day would be 45 minutes long.
And the second half were 85.
90.
90?
Yeah, it was an hour and a half.
Oh, that makes sense.
So the second half, so you had 5 classes in a day. And 2 of them would, it was basically your last 2 classes were longer. And you could do that to get credits done faster.
Yeah.
It was honestly really nice.
It was a nice system. But D lunch is after, or it's after fourth period.
Yeah.
It kind of, it's like,
it's it is.
it's like the end of fourth period, but you go back for like 10 minutes.
Because what it is, I think fourth period, they had it longer.
It is.
So D lunch, you would go through all of fourth period, then have lunch. And then at the start of fifth period for everybody else, your lunch would be over.
No, it was, you'd go through fourth period, and it was toward the end of fourth period. There's like 15 minutes left of class after lunch. The lunches aren't that long. They're like 25 minutes.
No, by the time D lunch was over, everybody was done. And then everyone would go to fifth period.
You'd go back to class for a little bit. Yeah, I'm telling you, I had D lunch. You'd go back to class.
Maybe I just don't remember.
You just don't. I don't think you remember. I don't think
I was out of school.
You were
for
out of
a
school.
while.
But so D lunch would be like you'd go back to class for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So when I'd skip school, I would go, and obviously attendance for fourth period is taken right when you get there. So I'd skip all of lunch in the last 15 minutes of my fourth period class. And then my fifth period class is that career launch. So I would just leave school for the rest of the day, basically.
Which is nice.
And it didn't show up in my attendance. I mean, it showed up on my attendance sparsely.
Yeah.
And then it slowly started to add up. And then that's when I got my attendance
Yeah.
letter. But we used to skip school a lot.
We used to skip school.
Don't skip school.
Don't skip school. Stay in school.
Seriously, I almost failed high school because of it.
So did I.
It was not worth it.
Until I went to treatment and got like all my credits done.
No, yeah, not worth it.
Not worth it. But yeah, no, I used to have it was really funny. I used to like have the attendance like ladies change my attendance. And then I also had a teacher that would do it for me.
They're the goats.
They were the goats. You could like bring them a coffee. And
When you become a senior, though, it's different.
it's different.
It's like
Don't skip school unless you're a senior and over the age of, was it 17?
Yeah, you gotta be over
unless you're 17. 17 and up.
It was like those office ladies like just knew me so much though.
Yeah. Because they'd see us.
Because I actually had a legitimate reason to leave school and be
Right.
coming back was career launch.
Yeah.
And so like they knew me, and so that I like low-key took advantage of that all the time.
Oh,
but
so did I.
I shouldn't have.
I remember I would tell them that like, oh yeah, I have PSEO. And then
Yeah.
we got in a lot of trouble for that because me
You did.
and,
I didn't.
Me and Mr. F
Yeah, I
would
remember
leave
that.
in the morning to go get we have this bagel shop in town.
Don't say the name.
I'm not going to say the name.
Actually,
No, it's not a chain.
I think there are more than.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
I'm
we
not
won't
gonna
say it then.
We went to this bagel shop. I mean, they do bagels and muffins and different pastries.
And smoothies.
Oh, the smoothies.
Smoothies are gassed
Oh my
up.
god. But their bagels are amazing. And we'd go get a bagel for breakfast, come back, I'd go to like 2 classes, and then me and Carter and Dave would leave to go get lunch and just hang out for a little while.
Do you remember?
Because me and Dave were in that photography
Do
class.
you remember me modeling for your photography
Yes,
shoots?
you and Dave.
Me and Dave. I modeled for you and Dave.
It was great.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
That
I
was
got
fun.
the whole assignment done in like 1 skip day.
Yeah, skip days.
Skip days. We were what was it? The skip squad.
The
That's what
skip squad. We
called
had
ourselves.
a group chat for it.
For real, it was great.
But yeah, that was damn.
That was a time.
That was a time.
Dude, that's the thing. I feel like, and I was talking, so I have a friend who's a really good friend of mine who is, dare say, one of my best friends.
gonna say
Mr.
that?
J.
Oh, are you not gonna say his name?
No.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Unless, I told him when he turns 18, which he's not 18 yet, he's a senior this year.
Isaac's messing with minors.
Fuck off.
Where's Chris Hansen when we need him?
I think you mean Chris Handsome. And so, if anybody who's listening to this wants to get that joke, just watch the Boondocks.
Watch the Boondocks.
Watch the Boondocks.
Great show.
We're not going to repeat everything he says.
Absolutely.
That would
not.
get us in trouble out
That-
of context.
Yikes.
And so, me and Mr. J are like really good friends. But he's still a senior, and I can see it, and I don't want to. So he's very mature for his age. He always has been, which is why me and him got along.
Yeah.
Because me and you were also pretty mature for our age. I mean, we were also did some dumb high school shit, but like
God,
we literally, like, I saw someone recently, who's like they still kind of act like they're in high school.
like that I know.
Yeah, friends from high school.
Who?
Well, I'm not gonna
don't say names, but give me like a Mr.
the name or a time.
Or just
I'll just tell you after the podcast.
okay, just tell me after.
Because I don't want him to like hear this.
Well, I mean, fuck it.
Oh, okay.
I just want to know. Just give me a Mr. What?
Mr. P.
Oh, okay, yeah.
From the other night.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And so, it kind of seemed like they're almost like still kind of in like have a high school mentality.
So that's just how some people are.
Just how some people are. But like, especially me and you, like when people like go off to college and like stay at college, I feel like a lot of times they have that high school mentality because it's like,
okay,
especially people that went to a specific college that we know about that we both toured at.
Oh yeah.
We have a couple friends that went there.
So I think 4 years when you go away,
Yeah.
it's just another high school experience.
For real.
Personally, I personally, because me and Isaac, we both can say we go to the same community college.
Yeah.
And we don't go there full time.
No.
Well, no, I mean it is, but it isn't. It's like
Community colleges aren't a full-time thing.
it's not a full time thing, but like we work. We have other things that are going on.
Yeah.
It's not just school all the time and parties all the time.
Yeah. Seriously.
I mean, I still party and stuff, but it's not all the time. Like fucking college.
And like I could, but I just it's not my thing.
You just don't. But it's just like I think it's just another high school basically, especially that
seriously.
school that we toured.
Yeah.
That is like our alma mater
No,
for all
seriously.
of our high school goes there.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's one of the reasons why I really didn't go there. Actually,
I agree.
I did not want a college experience that was going to be another high school experience.
Yeah, with the same people.
I was sick of high school.
Yeah. Oh my God, same. I hated high school. You know what? I'm just gonna get this out there. I straight up disliked a lot of the people that were not in our friend group, but just because me and you were more popular kids, we knew more people. Just a lot of the people surrounding us, I just didn't like. There was a lot of people that I just looked at and I was like, I straight up do not like you.
So that's
Hockey players.
I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Obviously. And
Some of them were okay.
And a lot of the people that I know will also agree with you on that.
Yeah.
No one at our high school likes our grade. Like, okay, all the people in our grade don't like our grade, if that makes sense.
Yeah, seriously.
Our grade was very like clicky.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
That's like a good word for it. Is a lot of people
No,
would
very
make cliques
cliquey.
and people could not get along.
No.
So it was like any like trying to do any like group activities like with your class or anything was basically impossible for us because everyone couldn't get along.
Right. Because you had.
I just don't say names.
Yeah.
Just
no,
don't
I
say
wasn't gonna say names.
Or groups specifically.
Okay.
Because then people might get pissed, but whatever.
Whatever. I don't give a shit. We're not in high school anymore.
We are not in high school. But, yeah.
But like you'd have specific sports teams, and you have like your country boys.
It was just not a very cooperative.
And like I got along with pretty much all of them. Like I love personally, I'm not a country boy, but
No,
I
you're
love my
not.
country boys.
I do too.
They're all great people. Some of the funniest people I know.
I like to think that I am like the most mixed country Chad you could ever meet of your life.
Yeah.
So I guess I can just say this. So I have 10 acres of land where I live at the moment. And
It's your mom's house.
at my mom's house.
Yeah.
So, and I don't dress country.
No.
I dress like, okay, if you could see the outfit right now, I look like a Chad.
He does, but he pulls it off.
I pull it off.
He looks
but,
great.
I do a bunch of country shit, but I don't act country.
Right.
So you can be a country boy without being a country boy.
Yeah. I'm talking country boys.
Yeah.
Some of them.
I know who you're talking about.
Some of them, and this was a big pet peeve I had in high school. Some of them acted like country boys, but weren't country boys.
Some of them, yes.
That shit pissed me off.
Well, and I feel like a lot of them went on to do country shit. Like they went on to be like blue collar workers.
Yeah.
But at the time when we knew them, not all of them were like that.
And I was like, come on now.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on now.
I think that was the thing with me, is I don't think I was ever like distinctively in a clique.
Yeah.
I kind of was friends with a lot of people.
Shit, I was gonna say my click name, but we have an Instagram post, and that could link us back to like where we live. So I'm not gonna say it. It was from the Nerf War.
Oh yeah,
That was like my main group of guys.
yeah.
That I would hang out with.
And I was like friends with all of them, but I didn't
Yeah.
hang out with them very much. Like I
No.
hung out with you. I hung out with Mr. C, every once in a while.
Mr. C. I still didn't see you. Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Your
Yeah.
lips were not reading in my
It's
mind.
okay.
It's okay. I know who you're saying.
Yeah,
I know who
Mr.
you're
C.
talking about now. Mr. C.
Um,
Mr. C has a brother also named Mr. C.
he does.
If we ever tell a story with them, we have to make sure we clarify.
Yeah.
Young C, Big C.
Big C and young C, C1 and C2.
C1, C2.
So, I would hang out with C1, and a couple other people that were like in your
Yeah.
group of friends, but I didn't really have one.
And I feel like that's how a lot of people were though.
I don't know. I always felt like I was an outlier.
I will say a lot of our grade was school friends, not out of school friends.
Yeah.
Out of school friends is where the cliques, there was the main people of the
Yeah.
cliques, and then their cliques just got bigger in school,
Yeah.
and they just wouldn't hang out with certain people from the cliques outside of school.
Yeah.
That was just how it was.
And that's just high school.
It
But
is just high school.
I felt like I was always kind of a floater.
Yeah.
Like I was really. I don't think anybody, and I've talked to people, but I don't think anybody really like disliked me.
I don't.
Like, I just kind of like we talked. I talked to everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody talked to me. And there was like a handful of people that I hung out with every once in a while, but I was kind of a loner a little bit.
I had that clique that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those guys. But those guys were sparsely hung out with outside
Right.
of school. I basically hung out with Mr. K.
Yeah, he was
So
like your homie.
Mr. K is still my homie. He, me and Mr. K live right next to each other.
Yeah.
We've known each other since 6th grade.
Yeah.
And Mr. K is just like we're just like the duo.
That's like, yeah.
Well, it's like a thing. It's like if you see Mr. K somewhere, you'd probably like at a party. Like
Yeah.
if Mr. K is there, then I'm there.
Yeah.
Or if I'm there,
Most
Mr.
likely.
K is there. That's how it is. It was like if there was like if you were to go anywhere and you'd be like, oh, why aren't you with Mr. K? It'd be
Yeah.
like Mr. K's around the corner. He'll be right there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like that's how it
You
was.
guys legitimately were like a duo.
It was the duo.
Yeah. No, you guys specifically. And like there weren't a lot of like real tried and true duos at our high school.
No,
But you guys really were one
it
of them.
never changed.
No.
Since 6th grade.
Yeah, you guys were a
Just
duo.
straight up the duo.
Yeah. So I think we should veer off of high school
We should veer
and
off.
ourselves and talk about some of the stuff that we're going to be
Let's-
talking about on the podcast regularly.
Let's talk about why we're qualified.
Exactly.
So we said that we are interested in we like anime and manga and video games.
Video games, movies,
But let's explain like our let's have an expertise. What do you think your
Our history.
What is your expertise in your nerd
Ooh.
knowledge?
my nerd knowledge. My expertise is on anime. I feel like we both have anime and manga.
Yeah, that's true.
You with manga and anime a little bit more than me.
I just think I just can like that black hole phase
Yeah.
when you first become a weeb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like never left that for the longest time. And so I consumed so much anime and manga at one time
Yeah.
that I just know like a lot.
And I feel like honestly, me and you have probably watched damn near the same amount.
Probably.
Probably. Like there's been things that I've seen that you haven't seen and things that you've seen that I haven't seen. And that's just how it is. What? Why are
I'm
you
not
looking
gonna
at-
say it.
why are
I'm
you
not,
looking at
I'm
me
not
like
gonna
that?
say it. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say specific anime that I love.
What is it? Just say it.
High School DxD.
Oh my fucking
yes.
God. Oh my fucking god.
Yes, I love
I
it.
fucking hate high school.
So
DxD.
good.
Let me talk about fucking high school.
No,
DxD.
We don't know.
I fucking hate high school DxD.
We can talk about it later.
I hate it.
It's good.
Another episode.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to get so close, but I just needed to emphasize how much I hate high school DxD.
It's a great show.
Too many titties.
Not enough.
Here's the thing with me. I don't love like super explicit stuff in my television. I don't know why. I just don't.
Says the man who was watching Food Wars with me.
Food Wars is funny.
It is. It's really fun.
It's just funny.
So is the dub for High School DxD. If you've ever listened to the dub, it's fucking
We're
hilarious.
talking about funny dubs.
We're not talking about ghost stories.
Okay. We won't talk about ghost stories. It's too controversial nowadays.
It is.
It really is. No, I would say I am an expert on the more like RPG spectrum of video games, JRPGs
Yeah,
especially.
I would say that's more your thing.
You're like more recently getting into a lot of bigger RPGs. You've obviously played like Fallout and Skyrim
Yeah.
and all like the big American ones, but you're starting to get into some more niche ones like Dark Souls.
The Soul series. I think
series.
I've played all of them except Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, which is awesome.
I played Bloodborne, or I didn't play Demon Souls, I guess. Because
you need to finish Bloodborne.
I just don't like the combat that much, to be honest.
Really?
I just don't enjoy it.
That's fair.
Plus, I didn't fucking understand what was going on, and you weren't playing it with me, and I got really angry really quick.
I remember that.
I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
I remember that. That was funny.
I will say, for my expertise, I want to say more of just like general knowledge with more, because I've played a lot of video games. I've played a lot, or I haven't played a lot of anime. What the fuck am I talking about? I've watched a lot of anime. I've watched a lot of shows. I've read a lot of manga.
You've read a lot more manga than I have.
I like to say that I have a general knowledge about. So like if you were to bring something up, I've probably seen a couple episodes of it. But there's some series that I'm really into.
I feel like as far as video games go, you're more of like the shooter guy.
I would be a resident shooter.
Yeah,
that sounds fucking terrible, but yes.
You're the resident FPS guy.
Resident FPS.
There
guy.
we go.
There
That's
we go.
better.
That's better.
Yeah, resident FPS guy. I personally don't love shooters.
No, you don't.
I grew up on World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, we just grew up on different games.
And I was a Halo kid. I loved Halo.
Yeah.
Halo was gas. The only shooter that I really put a lot of time into is like Borderlands and Destiny.
Yep.
And those are looter shooters.
Those are looter shooters.
And I love looter shooters.
I mean, I've played a little bit of those too.
We're not going to get into Destiny.
Yeah. I have the same grind.
Another story for another day.
That's just a different time.
Yeah.
I would say shooters, and I think that's like my main thing.
For real.
Oh, I guess would you call Uncharted a shooter game?
That's an RPG.
I would say that's like a puzzle game almost. I don't know how.
I'm gonna look it up.
I don't know what that's
See
classified
what Google classifies it as.
Because Uncharted was one of the main games that I grew up on. I started playing Uncharted.
I've never played Uncharted.
Really good game series.
I've heard.
If you want, I might buy the deluxe, like the pack edition on my PS5 that you could game share.
Oh, the
Like the game collection.
Yeah, the Legacy of Thieves collection is what it's called.
Yeah, I think I might snag that. But yeah, so I'm more of a resident shooter guy, and we're both really into movies as well.
Oh yeah, so it's defined as an action adventure third person shooter.
Interesting.
So
yeah, so we're both also very big into movies.
we are definitely cinephiles.
Any big movie that comes out,
We go see it.
we go see it.
I love the theaters.
So when we talk about certain things, we're not just shooting out of our ass. Like,
Yeah.
if we're gonna talk about a movie, we've seen it.
We've seen it.
If we're gonna talk about a video game, we've both played it, or
Yeah.
maybe not both played it, but one of us played it enough.
Yeah.
To talk about it. Same with anime, manga. We've both.
At least one of us has seen it.
At least one of us has seen it, knows what we're talking
Yeah.
about, and the other person will be able to, talk about it a little bit
Right.
more as well.
And more like ask questions and all that.
Ask questions and
Yeah,
stuff.
general podcast shit.
General podcast shit.
So, we are most certainly qualified on the subject.
The subjects that we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I have been watching anime since I was my first anime was Dragon Ball Z Kai on Nickelodeon. I must have been 3rd or 2nd grade.
So I don't want to call that my first anime experience, because I also watched Dragon Ball Z.
I watched it every week.
What was it? What was that cartoon? It was like Cartoon, not Network.
Oh, the CW.
No, it wasn't that. I
It had
watched
to have
Dragon
been
Ball Z
CW.
on. It was like where they played Avatar too. Nickelodeon, but it was called something else too. No, it wasn't that.
It wasn't just Nickelodeon.
It wasn't just Nickelodeon, but they had Avatar, Dragon Ball Z on the same thing. And so I watched Avatar and Dragon Ball Z when I was younger, but I don't want to count that as my first anime.
I watched Dragon Ball Z every Sunday at 7 p.m. when it came out.
That's different then.
Yeah.
That's different.
I watched it.
You
watched it.
watched it.
I watched the whole of the Frieza, or like the Saiyan arc and the Frieza arc on Nickelodeon.
I have that on DVD.
I have the Cell Saga and the Boo Saga on DVD.
I also have the Cell Saga on DVD.
Well, aren't you cool?
My dad got it for me when I was like 7.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, he didn't. He just like saw I watched it on TV. He didn't even know what anime was. I got my dad into Naruto, by the way.
That's amazing.
Okay, that's a different story. But
My dad refuses to watch anime.
my first anime, I specifically remember this. So I'm on the bus in 5th grade, and I'm gonna say this kid's name because it's so long ago, and it's just like I haven't talked to him in years. His name was Julian. We're on the bus.
Never even fucking heard of this
Yeah.
kid. Oh, this was before you moved.
This is before I moved
Smallsville.
to Smallsville. Yes, good save there. We were on the bus, and he was like telling me about the show called like Attack on Titan.
Oh,
This is when there was only season 1 out though.
that's crazy.
So that was when I was in 5th grade. So there's only season 1
I
out.
remember I watched it when only season 1 was out too.
Yeah, and so he was telling me, he was like, yeah, the show's so cool. They got guys that fly around with fucking like razor blades and they kill
Yeah.
guys. And I was like, oh, that does sound sick as fuck. So I watched Attack on Titan, but I didn't understand what the fuck was going on at all.
For real.
But I had to make sure. I was like, hey mom, like I'm gonna watch the show out in the living room, and it's just like if you've ever seen Attack on Titan, it's a bunch of like somewhat naked humans
Like without genitals.
that are like they're like the monsters, but
Yeah.
they're like huge.
They're called Titans.
They're called Titans, and
Attack on Titan.
my mom was like, "Is that the show with the naked people?" I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." And
Your mom's cool as shit.
my mom is cool as shit. So that was my first anime, but I also was watching Sword Art Online
Oh,
at the same time.
I also did something similar. So my experience is I had a babysitter, or a manny, as we called him.
I remember you telling me about this guy.
Let's call him Ethan.
Okay.
For reference. I don't know if you remember his name, but he was awesome, and he was big into anime, and one of his brothers was as well.
Word.
Me and him watched basically the whole of the first season of Attack on Titan together.
Yep.
And the original Full Metal Alchemist together.
That's sick.
And those were like two of my, I wouldn't say Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Full Metal Alchemist are like
They're
my
two
favorite
different
anime.
shows,
Yeah.
but they're two different shows.
It's like my favorite series.
Yeah.
Kind of. Brotherhood is my favorite anime of all time.
So when I was watching SAO,
Oh God, I did too.
so everyone knows that first season. There's that scene once they get to Elfheim Online.
Oh God,
And I remember I'm watching this out on our main TV
you're talking about like towards the end.
towards the end.
Oh,
where,
fucking
you know what
shit.
I'm talking about? You know what scene I'm talking
yes,
about?
I remember.
The real.
I hate that. I skip that scene if I ever rewatch it.
the real tapey scene.
Ugh.
So that's my first time watching it, so I didn't know what was happening.
Right.
But I was like, fuck, I gotta watch. And so I'm watching it out on the main TV, and I remember my dad walked into the room and was like, turn it off. Turn it off. And he made me turn it off. And so I had to like sneak downstairs and watch it.
That sucks.
And it was unfortunate because it's like close to the ending.
I remember when I watched it, so I used to spend a lot of time at my parents' business. They were super busy, worked a lot.
Yeah.
I was sitting in an extra room with my iPad watching SAO. And I remember when that scene happened,
Yeah.
I was so scared
someone was gonna walk in.
Yeah. And that scene, oh man, but that scene also made me so mad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that scene gets the emotions going.
It does.
I was like, Kirito,
No,
get him.
Get him. Get him.
Please.
Get up. That. And then after that, I started watching Naruto.
Ugh,
And
phenomenal.
so I was watching Naruto. It was on Netflix.
The original? I watched
Yeah,
it
the
there, too.
original series is on
Yeah.
Netflix. I don't know if it still is. I think it is.
The whole thing was on there, wasn't it?
Not Shippuden.
No, but the whole of like original.
Yeah, the whole original has
Yeah.
all the filler on there too. So I was watching it, like at my mom and my dad. So I was like off a couple episodes every time I was watching. But my dad happened to like walk in while I was watching it, and he got like super invested in the story.
Yeah.
And so we ended up watching all of Naruto, the first part together,
Nice.
and then I think we watched up to the. I want to say right when this isn't a spoiler. Right when Asuma dies.
At this
Okay,
point,
it's been out for so long that if you
at this
haven't
point,
seen it
if you haven't seen that part of Naruto and you're listening to this fucking podcast,
about anime and manga,
that's on you.
that's on you.
That's on you.
Asuma,
You know who you are.
Asuma dies.
Asuma fucking dies.
Yeah, and Shikamaru gets that get back though.
Oh my god.
The most unholy revenge.
Villain arc.
Villain arc for real.
One of the greatest villain arcs of oh my god. And when he buries
When he lights up the ghost cigarette, bro, of his
Yes.
dead homie. Oh my god. But yeah, so me and my dad watched Naruto Shippuden up to when Asuma dies. And then I think that's when I like right around when I made my move to my mom's.
Yeah.
So I just finished it at my mom's. But then this happened a few months ago. I like walk out because he works from home now. Like with COVID, he like is fully remote now. So I walked out to where he was working, and in the living room, I look up and I see fucking Boruto on the TV playing, and I'm like, "Are you watching Boruto right now?"
Is where it comes full circle. Turn it off. Turn that shit off.
And I was like,
Turn it off.
I was like, he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Just watch the fucking movie."
Turn it off.
I was like, "They're not." I was like, "It's not worth watching it." And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't know." I was like, "Everything in the show is pretty much filler." And he was like, "What?" He's like, "What's filler?" And I was like, "It's not like." I had to explain to him what canon
It's
was.
like not what the source material
Not what the
is.
source material
Yeah.
is. And so I had to explain to him what canon and filler was. And he was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's just watch the movie together." And so I went out and I bought the movie, and me and him watched that first movie together.
Which is actually really good.
Actually, I don't know which one I like better because the anime like makes the fight seem longer than the movie because
Yeah.
they had more time to animate it. It's really close in comparison, but I think
Yeah.
the anime did a better job at animating that fight with Momoshiki.
Yeah, Momoshiki.
Yeah, I think that's his name. They did a really good job at animating that fight, which
Yeah.
I really enjoyed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I watched specifically the fight on the anime. I skipped a lot of Boruto because there's so much filler.
You just have to look it up at this point.
just
There's
garbage.
there's like a few episodes that are canon for like every 10 episodes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
They just came out with it way too soon.
Yeah, they should have just waited till like this year to come out with it. If they
Seriously.
came out with it now,
They should have done it seasonally,
They should have.
but they're
Dumbo about
just
it.
being Dumbo.
They want to make the money.
Yeah. Well, tough shit. We're not that stupid. Whoever releases that,
I think it's Toei. No,
Yeah.
that's One Piece.
fucking not Toei.
Toei's kind of mid though too.
Toei.
They have some pretty mid
I
animations.
don't think there's been any One Piece filler, has there?
I don't think there is One Piece filler.
I don't think so either.
I genuinely just
Oda's just that.
he's
He's just that good.
he's just that far ahead
Yeah.
that they just can't catch up.
Yeah.
I mean they're close.
They're
sometimes.
honestly pretty close right now.
Yeah, I hope they take like a year break from animating to just like let the manga go a little bit longer and then
They
start
just add
animating.
like a whole filler arc and it just ruins the whole show.
I'd be so pissed.
Yeah. Luffy like finds the One Piece and then loses it.
Oh my god. No, absolutely.
They
not.
do some like Blue Exorcist shit.
God, I'd be pissed.
He fights Blackbeard.
I would be angry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else for video games. Because we talked about like why we're like our first animes.
Yeah.
But our first video games, I mentioned it briefly, was Uncharted.
Yeah.
So I started playing video games technically on my PS2. So I had
I had a PS2
My
also.
mom had a PS2 that she gave to me. And when like my mom and my stepdad started dating, his little brother had like I want to say like 500 PS2 games
Wow.
that he moved away to Baltimore. And so I just got all those games. And so I didn't know how to fucking play the games though.
Yeah, seriously.
And that's what sucks is I didn't know how to play the games. So that's when I like I guess first experience playing video games. My really first like real video game that I like played and beat through was the Uncharted games. I played Uncharted 3 first because that was the newest one that came out on the PS3. Played Uncharted 3 first. I fell in love with the series. I just really enjoyed that. Like I thought it was super cool, the like idea behind it, like a treasure
is cool,
hunter,
yeah.
a treasure hunter like in our time and age.
Yeah.
I thought it was super cool. And then once I played 3, I was like I had to play 1 and 2.
Right.
Played 1 and 2, they were great. And then I played I don't know what 4 is called though. I played the 4th one too.
It's just called Uncharted 4.
Yeah, they always have like little names that they add to it too, like
I don't fucking
whatever. But it
Raiders
was
of the Lost Ark.
fuck.
The
No.
Curse of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, it was that was my first like game I fell in love with. But I also played Pokemon at the same time.
Uncharted 3 The Holy Grail.
No. I also played Pokemon though too. We both played Pokemon since a young age.
Pokemon might have honestly been one of the first games I ever beat.
See, my first Pokemon
it
game
wasn't actually.
that I played was Black and White 2.
Was it?
And if you don't know, Black and White 2 is like, at the time, was like the hardest Pokemon game.
Yeah. My first one was
It was brutal.
actually X and Y.
Oh, so the one after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of sucks.
I feel like we had two very different experiences then.
Yeah, no, I started with 3D Pokemon and then went back and played the old ones.
Not even that. I just feel like X and Y is like, I'm going to say
It's
straight
so
up.
fucking easy.
It's so easy.
It's laughable.
And I think they realized that they made Black and White 2 like too hard. Like I think in that game there's maybe 3 fire type Pokemons, not including the starter. So there's no type coverage.
Yeah.
There's nothing in that game.
Yeah.
And it's just bare bones, brutal butt fucking. Like if you're not prepared for a gym,
Nice onomatopoeia.
thank you. If you're just not prepared for a gym, like if you haven't been like preparing, you just get bent over.
Bare bones, brutal butt fucking. Bare bones, brutal butt fucking.
Yeah, say that 5 times fast for you.
Bare bones, brutal butt fuck.
I didn't even mean to do that.
No, that was funny.
It was just came out. I was just how I felt.
Quite comedic.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And so that was one of my first. That was one of my.
That was a
first
hell of a
games,
game to start on.
too. It was hard.
I remember I did X and Y was my first one. I had Y. Yeah, I had Y on my little. I think it was literally called the 2DS. It was the one that didn't flip.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because I didn't have a 3DS.
Mhm.
I had an original DS, and the first game I ever beat was the new Super Mario Bros.
Same. I had the original DS as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still have it.
I even had like the original colorway, like the maroon.
I had the black.
You would.
Oh, okay.
Black DS energy.
Yeah, that's just me, bro. I'm actually wearing black Air Force Ones right now. Like the exact opposite.
And so that was like Mario was like the first game I beat, and I honestly don't like Mario that much. I don't love platformers.
I don't really either.
There's a couple platformers that are really good though. Another time though.
Yeah.
And so my first Pokemon was X and Y, laughably easy.
Still a
Started
fun
with
game though.
3D. It was
I really like the villain though.
really
Lysander.
like Team Player.
Yeah. Oh, well, I like their arc that they do. Like
Yeah.
with the tower.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's post game or not. I don't remember.
Oh, with AZ.
With AZ, I thought that
That
was
is
super
post
cool.
game. That is really cool.
I thought that was awesome.
That's like probably the best part.
Yeah.
And then I played Platinum,
Nice.
which is my next one. I had a friend give it to me on the bus. Then I played Oras. And then
I genuinely think I stole Pokemon Ruby from you.
you did.
I didn't mean to, but I think it was like,
You can have it.
dude,
I remember I gave it to you. Like to play.
you know what night it was?
It was what?
It was the night at your house. The night with the fire.
You wait, that's when you took it?
I got it that morning. You gave it to me that morning when we were talking about Pokemon before I left. It was that morning.
Oh my god.
That's how long I've had it.
Oh my god.
I don't know if we should talk about that story on, or maybe later. I don't
Another
know.
time.
That's not like today, but like we could. I guess we could talk about that story. I don't mind.
Not today.
Not today though.
No, I'd love to talk about that story.
That story's really
I've
funny.
actually since talked about that story with my parents and told them like what happened.
Do they
and-
know? Do they know that? Did they know that I was?
Yeah.
No.
They don't care.
No, but do they know when I was talking to your mom that I was?
I don't even think they remember.
Okay, because I don't think she knew, but I was so incoherent.
Yeah.
Like I was like blacking out. That was like
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Oh man. We're gonna have to get into that another
And
day.
that'll be like that should be our parties and drugs podcast story.
We'll have a couple of those.
We'll have a couple. Well, because like on our podcast we like to talk about
like stories.
like stories too, because
feel
we
like-
have very interesting stories to talk about.
I
As
feel
well,
like
too.
we've been through a lot of shit.
I think we'll obviously be talking about anime, manga, and
Yeah.
movies and stuff the most of the time. But when we have guests on and stuff,
Oh yeah.
I think that should be more of our story time podcast.
Oh yes, most definitely. Like I was gonna say this earlier, but like when Mr. J turns 18, I told him I'm gonna smoke a cigar with him,
A word
and I hinted at the idea of him coming on the podcast and smoking a cigar with us.
in here. Actually,
No.
we could do it at the man cave.
Yeah, the man cave would be fun.
That'd probably be fine to smoke a cigar, and I don't think
Just
my
crack
dad,
the window.
I don't think my dad would care.
Well, he
Damn.
smokes cigars, so
Fuck yeah, I smoke cigars.
fuck yeah.
I do. I am
Cigars
actually.
are for men.
I'm an avid cigar smoker.
I love cigars.
I think I just smoke more cigars than you do, though.
Yeah, I don't ever really go buy them.
I mean, it's like I don't know. once every 2 weeks.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
When do you get them?
Whenever I feel like it. I
That's
just buy
fair.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just haven't gone and done it.
It's an experience.
I still have your cigar cutter.
Oh, do you?
I accidentally stole that
I
from
need
you.
that back because I have a cigar in my room that's waiting to be smoked, and I was looking for that the other day.
You can have it back tonight.
It's fine. You can get back to me.
I owe you a new torch too.
Yes, you do.
I broke it. We were out golfing, smoking cigars.
And he broke my torch.
with some of the D&D boys.
That was all D&D boys. Lucas, me, you, and
Ryan.
We can say his name on here, right?
Yeah, Ryan.
Ryan. Yeah.
Jay wasn't there though.
Are you gonna say his name, Jay? Actually, yeah, we can say Jay's name too, I guess.
Because at some point they might all be on here.
We just try to keep names out of the podcast.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if certain people don't want to be mentioned, especially when it comes to our story times.
Yeah.
Whenever we talk about like any kind of stories, like deeper into our stories,
Yeah.
we have to make sure we don't drop like names and places.
Like on the original pilot
oh my
that we
god.
recorded, Carter name dropped a lot.
So it's like when I name dropped your full name
Yeah.
on accident at the beginning.
Which is not okay.
It was not okay.
Like nobody has my. I think my family is the only family that has my last name.
I think it is too. And then I name dropped where I live,
Yeah.
where Isaac lives.
Two of the places we
Two
used
of
to
the
work.
places, like previous places we've worked at.
One of our 6th grade teachers.
One of our 6th grade teachers. I think I name dropped other people too.
Yeah.
Like people I've worked with in the past
Yeah.
that I still know. Like I name dropped a lot of people that
Yeah.
day.
Yikes. It was a practice run. God, that
Well,
bag
yeah,
of chips keeps fucking
I
falling.
know it does keep falling.
Just put it somewhere else.
It's right there. So our first podcast, or our first like pilot, I guess we could say, we
Yeah.
recorded it yesterday.
Yeah. Before
But-
D&D.
Before D&D, we do play D&D as well.
We do.
What makes us that I feel like that really cements us as nerds.
Oh yeah.
But we recorded it, and then today when I was doing stuff for our podcast, I realized that there's 2 podcasts with the names that we had last time,
Fuck.
and I was pissed. But
So was I.
it also
Go ahead.
I also think it turned out better because this time I think it's like flowing a lot better.
Yeah.
And no name drops.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything we really have to cut. So I
No.
think we're doing pretty good.
We're doing good.
I think it was a good practice run.
We had one pause.
Well, yeah, one pause. I don't even remember what that was for.
Neither do I.
I think you went and grabbed water, but whatever. Yeah, so
Speaking of, hit that pause button. We'll be right back after
we'll be
this
right
ad
back
break.
after this ad break. Oh, it's not paused.
Oh.
All right,
And we're back.
So after our quick water break and ad break,
Hoped you like that advertisement from our sponsor that we don't have.
there's definitely not going to be anything there. It's just a cut in the fucking audio. But
We're sponsored by water.
yes, in the tiniest bottles you could ever imagine.
That shit's great.
Water's pretty mid.
What? Water's amazing.
The right water is good.
Like most water is really city water fucking sucks.
Yeah, I would agree.
But like most water is the best drink.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah,
Water's the best drink.
beer. People in the olden days used to drink beer instead of water. I'm actually.
I still think water's better.
I'm just fucking around. Beer's not that great.
Beer is. I like beer. I like the taste of beer.
Interesting opinion. I think beer's pretty okay.
I like it a lot more than hard alcohol. I hate hard alcohol.
Sure.
I do.
So I mean, let's start winding her down here. Let's talk about our setup we have going here. Give them a brief overview of our setup.
Jesus.
I wish we could show you guys a picture of our setup right now.
It's better than it was last time.
It definitely is better than it was last time. Last
we
time
just had cords and boxes.
everywhere.
We literally just got these headphones, just got everything working, and we were like, "Fuck it, let's record."
Fuck it, let's record.
This is literally last night was the first time we got the audio working with the mics and the
Yeah.
audio interface.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, we have a little bit more to get. We got some headphones, we got some adapters.
Yeah.
We have some windscreens now, which we didn't have last time.
We did not have
which
last
is
time.
really nice.
It is really nice.
The audio quality sounds a lot better.
It does sound a lot better.
And it's just we were just ripping open boxes and chucking shit on the floor.
we need to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
sorry.
just trying to get it put together before D&D, which is always at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Tonight we're recording a little bit later.
It's 10:33.
10:33. Yeah.
Damn, it's a late recording.
It's a little late, but you know what? That's okay.
That's fine.
I mean,
Late night
I don't
vibes.
have work tomorrow, but you do.
I definitely do have work tomorrow.
You'll be fine.
Hopefully.
You've done worse,
I have done worse.
so you'll be alright.
Yikes. So I guess for our setup right now, to give you guys a little description of where we're sitting, we are currently have all of our equipment sitting on a massage table.
Yeah.
So we are currently in a clinic.
Yep.
Great place.
Great place. It's private, which is really.
It is really
nice.
private, which is nice.
Yeah, we can be as loud and talk about whatever the fuck we want and not have things bothering us except for ourselves.
Yeah. So we basically Isaac took care of most of our kind of getting the audio and the wires and everything, the mics, everything's
All of,
set
the,
up.
Like hardware.
Hardware stuff, I'd say
Yeah.
Isaac got set up.
Because I work at a music store. That we have a lot of recording stuff there. I got a sexy deal on a lot of things that we have.
Yeah.
And my father, who is a musician as well, I come from like a musical family.
He does
I was
indeed.
basically bred to be a fucking musician.
Maracas.
Yeah, that's, we have maracas actually.
You know what? You know what they were in?
I bet you play a mean fucking maraca.
They were in the leather bag, Isaac.
Oh my god,
God.
the leather bag.
Fuck the
Okay.
leather bag.
I think we should touch on that.
Oh my god. So,
This is currently we're recording this
let's say the date.
December the 28th.
December the 28th.
Yeah.
So about a week ago, maybe two. No, it was like a week and a couple days ago.
It was a week and a half.
like a week and a half
We
ago.
tried to get together. This is when we first got the audio interface. Carter, who, as we were going to say, dealt with all the software stuff.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. He learned all that shit from the ground up. I already had a rough idea of recording stuff, like recording hardware and how to use it. So it was pretty seamless once we got it all together.
Yeah.
But god damn, at least twice we tried to.
Fuck.
At least twice we tried to get together and at least try things out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We couldn't do it.
Couldn't find the mics.
Couldn't find the mics.
What else was it the second time? You forgot your computer.
No, I don't think you had the mics at that time anyway.
Maybe not.
I just don't think. We definitely didn't have the mics until like yesterday. Like the mics were not
No,
found.
the mics were found.
Well, after our last escapade trying to find them.
Yeah, we tried to find them, and then we tried to get together on Thursday.
I think I was just busy.
Were you just busy?
I think I was just busy. I
That's
think I had
whatever.
other things going on.
Yeah, that's right, because then that went right into Christmas.
Yeah, I would assume I probably was at a Christmas party.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's just, like we tried to do it before Christmas because I knew I was going to be super busy the week before.
I just at least wanted to test things out.
Yeah, we wanted to test
Get the
things
ball
out, but we
rolling.
really couldn't.
And, it is what it is.
It is what it is, but we made it work. So right now I got a little laptop that we're recording on.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I don't think it's too little. It's my
It's a nice laptop.
it's my college laptop,
Yeah.
and so that's our setup right now.
We've got 2 condenser mics.
We do have two
Or not condenser mics, sorry. Dynamic mics.
dynamic condensers.
Condensers are fucking expensive.
those are expensive.
Yeah. We don't even have mic stands. We're just holding them.
No, I kind of
sitting
like it.
across from each other.
Like
And we could be a little bit more dynamic with them.
I could literally
Just like this.
touch Isaac with how close he is to me.
That's
Okay. I was massaging his leg.
he was giving me the good old rub
Rug and
down.
tug. Rub and tug.
rub and Yeah, it's a little bit of a janky setup, but you know what? We're getting it done.
We're getting it done, yeah.
People are out there saying, "Oh yeah, I want to set up a podcast."
We're doing it.
Doing it.
Fuck it, we ball.
We dap me up. Oh my god.
That definitely. I can
that
see
was
the
that
spike
was
on the
definitely
audio.
incredible.
That was definitely on the audio.
And the plan is to get video.
Yeah, so I'm working on that at
yeah.
the moment. I'm doing a little bit of research into the best programs to use to sync up video and audio. I'm currently ordered a new phone.
Which is awesome.
But with the iPhone 12 especially,
Yeah.
the camera quality will be insane.
I'm going to try and see if we can use a video camera that I own.
Yeah, we're just going to try different things.
Yeah, and see what works.
I think we should do like a 5-minute test clip with each camera, and then we'll
definitely.
just decide from there.
We'll figure it out.
And so when we do decide to go full video, because we're going to be posting this on YouTube
Yes.
and Spotify,
Yes.
we're just going to have to get that set up. And so I'll be working on that, but then we're also...
Hopefully one day Apple Podcasts.
I think, I don't know if we have to
I think there's a couple more hoops you have to jump through.
there's hoops you got to jump through with that. But for sure we'll be able to get up on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
YouTube will be like step 1.
Yeah.
And then I'll start jumping through hoops with Spotify.
Yeah.
And then our goal is eventually when we get video set up, we're going to be in a more visually appeasing place.
Oh yeah.
So
The man cave.
at my dad's house, I specifically have a man cave that is detached from the house.
Awesome.
That is like a legit.
It's like in a shed.
It's like a shed, but it's like a mini house. Honestly,
It's glorious.
It's literally like I would say like a 12 by 14.
Immaculate.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Beyond compare.
And so it'll be nice. It'll be visually appeasing for people to look at. You'll be able to see us in person.
Yeah.
Get to face reveals.
Yeah. Ooh, see the hot boys.
See the hot boys.
Yeah.
Should we have just like a specific outfit we wear in the podcast?
No, we'll switch it up.
We'll switch it up.
Can't wear the same shit every time.
I might bum clothes it out sometimes too. I definitely need some bum clothes to wear.
No, I'm not trying to smell you stank.
Shut up. You love to stank.
No.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, he does.
Don't be doing this on the podcast.
I will.
Just let
Yeah.
it be known that
I am one of the most sus people you'll ever meet. I think it's absolutely hilarious.
it is.
I just like to make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Do you feel that?
This sexual tension.
That sexual tension?
So, just passing by that.
There's a lot of inside jokes
A
that
lot
are
of
probably
inside
going to go
jokes.
on this podcast.
But yeah,
because me and Carter are, outside of this, very good friends.
oh yeah,
We spend a lot of time together.
a lot of time together.
And, oh, man.
But yeah, so I think it'd be cool for one of our podcasts to host a D&D session on the podcast too.
I was thinking that having a D&D podcast.
We don't obviously would have to figure a lot of things out.
Oh, yeah.
But that'd be like later down the line. I'd
Oh,
love
yeah.
to. I'd love to do a D&D sesh at the man cave.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we have a lot of plans for this. We're currently working on getting some art
yeah.
done for us.
Art done for
a
us.
logo and kind of a... So for the beginning, before we have video, we're going to have like a backdrop.
Yeah. So
Um,
with that, I can talk about
Yeah.
that a little bit more. So when we post this on YouTube, obviously you can't just post you could just post an audio clip, but I mean,
Who the fuck's going to watch that?
no, I mean it's nice, especially like you don't need a lot to be looking at, but it's nice
Right.
to look at something.
Yeah.
You know, so we're commissioning some people. We're trying to commission some people to make some art of us, of me and Isaac, and we want to get it to where it'd be visually appeasing to look at.
Yeah.
Same with our logo. So that's basically what we're going to be doing for the first. I don't know for how many episodes we'll be doing that.
At least until we get video.
Until we get video, and I think we might just put it up on the YouTube banner.
Yeah.
Just like for callbacks.
Yeah, that's probably what
I mean, if we paid
we're
for it,
gonna
might as
do.
well use it.
Right, yeah.
So we'll be doing that, and
Kind of like an anime style backdrop of
yeah,
me
yeah.
and you talking like
Yeah.
in a similar fashion.
Like we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna like take a picture of me and Isaac together and send it to the guy to draw us, and
Yeah.
so it'll be cool. I'm excited for that, and then I'm excited. We're still currently looking for somebody to do our logo.
Yeah.
I would like to see it actually like pixel arted, or
That would be cool.
it'd be cool because I think it would go good with our little thing we got going, or I could ask the person that's doing our commission if they could also do our logo too.
They could.
I don't know. I would have to personally message them. but
Probably not.
Probably not. That's
Yeah.
probably not something they'd be doing.
We could look for. I bet we can get more specific with.
We
the
could
logo,
probably
but
get more specific.
We'll get all that done before this even comes up.
Yeah, but that's plans.
That's the plans, and we got some plans with potentially doing conventions, maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We
Got some
won't
plans to
get
do
into
some
like
things.
specifics.
No, but we got some things that we want to go see,
Yeah.
talk about, bring back
Oh, yeah.
some experiences to talk about, and like we said earlier, we also want to bring on guests too.
Yes.
Just to have somebody to also talk along with.
Not like we'd have any well-known guests, but certainly some. How do I put this?
Interesting people.
Interesting people.
I mean, just with some of the people, like some of the stories I have with certain people,
Yeah.
some of the stories, it's just honestly, I want to.
Shit gets wild.
I think we should do a podcast. If we're still doing podcasts in May, we should do a Mother's Day podcast with both of our moms.
That would be great.
Like, I don't know. We'd have to buy other equipment, but it'd be really fun to set that up.
We could just do one mic. We'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, we could. We could do just one mic. You're right.
We'll figure it out.
But yeah, so we would like to bring on guests. That's
Yeah.
future plans. The first couple might just be me and you.
Yeah.
But once we get more confident with our
For the
setup,
majority of it, it'll just be me.
I think our first video one should be with a guest.
I think it should just be us.
I don't know. I think it'd be cool to bring on a guest too. It'd be like
Maybe for the second one.
so we could do second one too.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be cool.
I think it's probably going to be mostly us, though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see guests coming on too often.
Yeah.
But I would like to bring guests on.
Just because our general theme is going to be... anime, video games, all that stuff that we've already talked about earlier on this episode. That's like the main theme of what we're talking about, and that's mostly what me and Carter are going to be talking about when it's just us.
Yeah.
And with a couple of our guests.
Yeah. A couple of our guests will definitely be able to talk about that as well.
Like we have a couple good friends that are into that stuff, but also a fair amount of them aren't.
Yeah, for real.
So,
we are very, very niche.
Yeah, seriously.
We are the two anime boys from high school.
Seriously.
No, I'm just kidding. There's probably
we are
more.
super niche.
There's probably more people out there. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the weebs from blank.
Shout out to all the weebs
blank
from
high school.
From
that was kind of close. You might be able to hear it. I didn't say the words. I thought I could hear it.
It was
sounded
like the same
like
syllables.
Yeah, it was the same syllable. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Same
so
amount of,
that's future plans. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see how it'll go from here.
this is fun.
It'll be fun to see it get put up.
Yeah.
Once it finally gets put up on the internet. Why did I say it like a fucking dad? When it's put up on the internet.
Once we send it out to the World Wide Web.
World Wide Web. No, once we see it up and running, and I mean, I know I've been talking to my family about it.
Do you want to know something crazy?
What?
It's actually it's easier to say World Wide Web than it is to say www.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Sure.
The actual word is easier to say than the abbreviation.
www. World Wide Web. I don't know. It seemed pretty same to me.
No,
It just seems like a fucking mouthful either way.
www.
Say it 5 times fast.
You do it.
No. So yeah, so that's our future plans,
Oh
really.
my fucking god.
But like I said, once it gets up, because I know I got family members who'd like to hear.
Yeah, me too.
We got friends I'd like to hear it as well.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna post it everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, what we talk about won't be to everybody's liking.
Yeah,
I'm not expecting like everybody we know to be like, oh my god, your podcast is amazing. I love listening to it.
I will say this: if you know us and you become like a fan of the podcast or like listen to it regularly, you don't know us.
Are we gonna say it like? Are we gonna be like that? Be like, don't talk to us?
No, not like that. but,
Be like, we're too famous for you now.
Don't. Okay, if you know us and you like grew up with us and you've like listened to things, don't like name drop things on the internet.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
So like, if like we said, if we do happen to get more people listening,
Yeah,
and you do know us personally, please do not be out there.
like in a YouTube comment.
Yes, like
or,
saying like we're like posting my address. I would
Like we should probably make like a Facebook or something for the podcast.
yeah.
Yeah, like just like general social media for it.
Oh yeah.
Something on that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want like mom, dad.
Yeah, like yeah.
Don't be like, oh, I'm so proud of my son. Posts my birth certificate.
Yeah,
Like,
please.
fucking come on now.
Like yes, don't name drop us. Don't talk about where we live. Please, none of that.
no last names.
No last names. Please. Yeah, just none of that. And
Yeah.
I mean, and if you do end up liking our podcast and we know you, give us a text.
Yeah,
Shoot us up.
hit us up.
If maybe if you
Slide in the DMs.
maybe if you really like what we're talking about and you want to be on the podcast, maybe we'd bring you on.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You never know.
You never know.
It's kind of an honor.
It is an honor. Got to be hand selected.
Alrighty. Well, I think it's about that time.
I think we should wind it down here. Yeah.
I would like to say, for anybody who has listened this far into the podcast, thank you so much.
Seriously.
If you're actually listening to this, we very much appreciate it. That, you would give us the chance to hopefully make your day brighter. And
Bless your ears.
bless your ears with our...
Low and high voice.
Oh, yes.
I do have a high voice.
I have a
I will
very
be the
low
first.
voice.
I'll be the first to say it. My voice is very
It's a good contrast.
oh no.
Oy.
Yeah. But yeah. I appreciate anybody who's listened this far.
Yeah, for real.
And we're just gonna wind it down here.
Yeah. I think we've talked about everything we want to talk about today. Maybe even gotten to some stuff we didn't want to talk about. But you know what?
My bad. I kind of just segmented into
You
it.
kind of did, push me into the treatment talk, but that's okay. I don't mind talking about it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to talk about.
I think it gives you guys a better look at our personalities.
Yeah, understanding of us.
And I think next episode will be more into our topics.
A deep dive. One thing that we didn't talk about today is how we know each other.
Yeah, we
which
can
is
talk
gonna
about
be
that next time.
A big topic of next time.
Yeah, we can do that next time.
So, with that being said, this is Carter and Isaac from the 21st Century Geeks
Yes,
signing
sir.
off.
We are signing off.
Have a good night.
See you guys next time.